do a little walk down memory lane, if you will allow me, and just start at the beginning, right? So, how do we start out this course? We started out the course explaining that your career goals, right? Your long term goals, these are going to be your true north, right? They're going to be your true north. They're going to give you some direction on what where your career is going, right? Like we all have to have some idea of, what it is we're trying to accomplish. Like most of us, you don't go to school just to get a good job, right? You go to school to change your life, to get a career, to specialize in something. So when you set your long-term goals, they should be things that you want to achieve, things that you want to gain. And that was the ultimate goal of the class. We talked about that even if you do have a long-term goal, that you still need some tools, right? It's, kind of like building anything. You need tools, right? Whether you build a house, build a car, build a career, you still need tools. Yes, having technical skills is part of the toolkit, but there's other things that you need to be successful. One of them is knowing how to get information that you don't have. This is going to be very important in your career because obviously you can't learn everything, and why should you? It's important to learn from others. So, informational interviewing, some of us older people call it picking someone's brain, but just learning your field is going to be very, very important. You want to continue this process of informational interviewing. We did one little practice run, but continue that process. It's a great way to meet people. It really is a networking tool because people love to talk about themselves, they love to give advice. So even if you are, just picking someone's brain, asking them questions about your industry, it's a great way to connect to people on LinkedIn. Just you can DM people on LinkedIn and ask questions. People expect you to do that. Everyone wants to build their network that's online. Another tool that we learned is how to write resumes. Give me a thumbs up if you feel a little bit more comfortable writing your own resume. Maybe you already felt comfortable, but you feel like you learned a little bit about that true stuff. Y'all not just making me feel good. Okay, okay. Even if you are, I'll take it. But hopefully it gives you some confidence. Like I know exactly what I need to do to write my resume, even if I don't write it and I use tools to write it, at least I know what I'm supposed to do. And when you know what you're supposed to do, it just gives you confidence. I am a firm believer in knowledge is power. Knowledge has gotten me to places y'all don't even want to know. I've been around the world and back. And what has gotten me there is what I know, because there's one thing that holds true is, amen. I see, thank you. What you know is more important than anything. What you know, because that's something people can't take away from you. People can take a lot of things away from you, but when you know something, and the more you know, the now it sounds like a PBS commercial, but the more you grow, and it's just so true. Um, I've been able to take my career in so many different directions just because I happen to know a little bit about a little bit. And I'm able to be flexible. And so, that's the key. Don't ever stop learning. It is your superpower. It is your superpower. So now that you know how to write resumes, you know what to look for, it puts you ahead of the curve of a lot of people. Um, Understanding that you need a brand. Like, what is your personal brand? You're not just going to jump out there and be an HVAC person or be a welder. Like, you need a brand. It is your reputation. How are you going to promote yourself? What do you want people to see you as? Me, I remember, and I don't know why I remembered this. Okay, is there anybody else remember being in kindergarten or first grade? Tell me it's not just me. I don't know why I remember certain things. No hands up. Okay, that's embarrassing. Okay. Well, I remember being in kindergarten, and I remember what got me, okay, a one person, and I'm way, way, way older than you guys. Um, but I remember what got me excited is when my teachers were all so excited about my reading skills, and they just didn't know where I got these skills from. And I remember my teacher taking me in, taking me to another class and was like, watch this. And I was reading and they were all excited. And, that's when I realized, that I had advanced skills reading. Like that stood out to me. And so what made me excited is feeling like I could build my own brand based off of just who I am and my own skill set. Like you need to really, what is going to set you apart from the next person is something that you already have that's in you. You just need to figure out what that is and continue to hone in on that. I didn't know what it meant. All I know is I like to read, and I used to read everything. And that ability has really elevated me in a lot more ways than you can even imagine, just from me honing in on that skill set. So you need to figure out, okay, what is my brand? How can I use what I have that makes me different from other people? How can I build that? It's going to be important in your career. To that end, once you figure that out, you want to promote yourself. Yeah, are you a business entity? Kinda. Who else is going to promote your career? Who else is going to promote you? Who else is going to help you get from point A to point B? Y'all know that's not reality, right? You have to do that. So figuring out what your brand is and then promoting yourself. Put it in your email, put it on your LinkedIn page, put it on social media. If you say it enough, you'll believe it and they'll believe it. You need to have a slogan. What makes you different, right? And guess what? It's already true. You just have to figure out that skills that you have, even if it's just a people skill that you have, your ability to really understand technology, like hone in on that, dig into it, explore your talents, guys. That is going to be your superpower. Most of us don't have obvious talents like singing and dancing and playing the piano or something, like that. But we all have talent. We all have skills. You need to figure out what it is, because you're not just an HVAC person. You're an HVAC person with the superpower. You just got to figure out what that is, and let that be your brand, right? We also talked about interviews. Give me a thumbs up if you feel better about interviewing. Feel like you know something, even if you don't feel better about interviewing. Let me preference that. But honestly speaking, do you feel like, okay, now I know what these people want. I know how to prepare myself, and it's less daunting, right? I'm telling you, the more you know, the more now you start to get more confident, because it's all about knowledge. Confidence has everything to do with knowledge, because we're all afraid of the unknown. Everybody is. That's why it's important to educate yourselves. Don't ever let somebody tell you something otherwise. Let me give you a hint, people. Yes, I'm going to preach for a little bit. Y'all know I'm a Southern girl. That's what we do. We preach. People will always want you not to be knowledgeable, because if you're not knowledgeable, you're scared. See how those two things go hand in hand? Either you're knowledgeable or you're scared. And people that want to control want you to be scared. But if you're knowledgeable, then there's no fear. Does that make sense? Why do I say that? Learn, 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 learn. Even when you don't think you need to learn, just learn it anyway. Learn as much as you can, and then you get to decide what you want to do, where you want to go. Don't ever let somebody else learn on your behalf. That's the biggest mistake you can make. Learn on your own. Learn on your own. Learn everything. And then you can decide what you want to do with it. And when I talk about learn everything, I'm talking about your career, or anything that you have an interest in. Don't ever let somebody else tell you what it is. Learn it yourself. Okay? Very good. Now you feel better about interviewing. Now let's talk about an online presence. We know. Go ahead, honey. Go ahead, Stacy.
My bad, Miss Cynthia. I'll ask you later. I was trying to do an assignment. It was locked. I'll message you later.
Yeah, so all assignments technically are locked besides the final
Final? Okay.
and the career project and then our conference question for today.
Yes, ma'am.
But I am going to do you guys a solid. Y'all know I'm so weak. Y'all get on me. Ooh, y'all know. Oh, let's just play
Oh,
Miss
thank
Taylor.
you.
Let's play Miss
Bye-bye.
Taylor. She has such a soft heart. All right. Listen, guys, I'm going to reopen those assignments, but I'm promising you, I'm only leaving those other assignments open till 1 o'clock. I have to grade, and I'm not going to be up to 5 o'clock in the morning grading your papers, okay? So that's it. And it's only week 3, week 4. That's it. I said 1 o'clock, right? Okay. That's it. All right, I got a grade. All right. So let's go back to this. With your online presence. Um, It's important. Yes, we know that. We know it's important. However, you got to be careful with it. We want you to use it. You don't have a choice. Listen, if you're not online, especially if you're building your business or building your career, people are gonna think, I know it's crazy. People are gonna think you're weird, right? Like, oh, I can't find anything about this person. Not being online is like not having credit. A lot of times people say, oh, I don't have any credit cards. That's not a good thing because people don't know if they can trust you or not. We're in a credit-based world. Well, it's the same thing if you're not online nowadays. People are like suspicious. Why aren't you promoting yourself? Well, you have to hide. It's crazy, right? But that's kind of the world that we're in now. So people expect you to be online, promote yourself. And to that end, people expect you to network. People expect you to know people, right? They expect you, if you say that you're a subject matter expert, you say that you're an HVAC technician and you don't know anything about what's going on in your industry, how can I take you serious? Well, how are you going to know? You got to network. So that's the first thing you guys should be doing when you get onto LinkedIn. If you don't even connect with the people in this classroom, like really, are you really trying to network? Don't you know that most people build their networks while in college? Every company you can think of built their network in college. Meta, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all those companies, they started out, if you ever do their little story, it started out in college. Who you know is everything, right? You have to network. Network, network, network. It is not just because you want to get a job, but you also want to be in the know. Like, do you really want to be the only person that doesn't know something and everybody else knows it? I'm telling you, it comes from networking and getting to know people and talking to people so you can stay in the know. Like I said, knowledge is key. All right, my friends. Well, guess what? There's a small tear here. Let me take care of that. That's it. That's it, my friends. It's over. You can exhale. You can exhale. Y'all did a good job. Y'all did a good job. Did you tell her have a small kid? Y'all did a good job. Good job. That online thing wasn't so bad. Who was talking all that noise about that online thing? Tell them they just don't know. And Miss Taylor said, the more you know, the more you grow. Who grew up on PBS? All right. Exactly. Exactly. Don't listen to those people. It's one thing you should learn. Exactly. Exactly. So it may have been not for you, my friend, but it's for me. As for me, I will learn. Okay. Here's your participation assignment. I want you to name one takeaway from the course and how you feel it would enhance your career. It doesn't have to be from what Miss Taylor said. It can be from what you've learned or what you've explored or what you've researched. One takeaway from the course and how you feel it will enhance your career goals. Please get this done. I also will leave this question up till 5 o'clock. Other than that, I'm not extending it. Yeah, oh, Jesus. I'm not extending it. All right. 5 o'clock for the participation question, 1 o'clock for those other assignments. And for your career plan and your final, you still have until 10 p.m. My friends, it's been so nice. Y'all been so good. Y'all been so great. I hope my next group is good as you guys. All right. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Other than that, good luck to my graduates. The rest of you guys, good luck in your next class. Bye-bye. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye.